I think the one thing we talked about even before the draft was adding more skill, bringing more skill in, and I think we did that again today. Look at the guys we got in this 30 goal scorers, 80 points. A lot more skill, and I was on the way up. I was kind of looking at the list, thinking 8 Canadians and 2 Russian players. So, it's nice to get some Canadians in the fold too.
And the OHL connection, should we just we have to address that right now? It seems like there's a lot of guys that have some history together there.
Well, it's unbelievable how we've just kind of been, that's why I looked at Todd and said OHL, we're taking all the guys from out east, but Todd does live there, Terry Dorn and Fred Parker, so that definitely has something to do with it. But it seemed like a lot of OHL guys today.
What are your 3 Western League guys too? Not too shabby there. A lot of size and a lot of grit you're getting out of them.
Yeah, that was the one thing we talked about, especially with Lang, big man, bringing him in. It was just, it just felt good today. It felt like a draft kind of guys you were really hoping to get fell, and we were able to do it. We made one little trade to move down because we thought we could add a couple more guys, and we were able to do it.
Can you put into words why it was important to emphasize on skill and goal scoring as much as you did today?
Well, I think it's just, you look at the game, you watch how teams are winning. I mean, you need to put up points. You need to make that exciting, those high-end plays. I mean, especially you see Edmonton, we watch them all the time, and they're high offense. Obviously they got some of the best players in the world, but, we had to add some of that to our group, and I think we were able to do that today.
When you look at a guy like Andrew Bash, obviously a nice story there with the hometown guy, but what stood out to you about him and his game?
Like we said, the one thing watching him this year is speed, and his skill, hockey sense. So he kind of has it all, and to be able to kind of get it where we did, we were excited. I thought he was going to go a little bit earlier, but that's just the way the draft kind of goes. But to be able to get him in a Calgary guy is always nice also.
What do you think of the quick turnaround here where the draft is now and then in about 2 days you have to start thinking about free agents?
It's quick. I mean, it's almost, and with the WestJet flights being canceled, that's not great either. So it definitely makes things more challenging. You'd like to have a few more days, but, everyone's going to deal with the same thing. So you just got to enjoy this the last couple of days, but now then turn around and get ready for free agency.
Greg, this is supposed to be the last in-person draft or this type of draft. What's going to be lost if it doesn't come back like this at some point?
Yeah, I mean, this does feel like the NHL. This is part of what it is for the kids to get drafted, to all be here, to kind of be in this environment. It's just, I think part of the reason it isn't because of that quick turnaround, and but you are going to lose that in-person feeling going up in the stage, drafting the kids. It's it's going to be different. It's going to be weird. And like you said, it's for now. You never know what's going to be coming in the future.
And just from a manager's perspective, you guys meet for dinner. You meet in the hallways. Like the trades happen over beers. There's that would be lost too, right?
Well, you do. You get to see the other managers, the other teams, but you also get to see agents, people you're talking to, and it puts everybody in one place. So that is. That does make it much easier for us on that front. It'll be a little, but the only thing is now where the staffs are so big, we bring in so many people, we are more spread out than we used to be.
Were you in favor of the draft being centralized?
I think I'm trying to remember how we voted. I think we did want to vote to have it, virtual, I guess. But with that said, when kind of going here, seeing this, and I'm hearing just great things about, what it would look like on TV, what it was like, and kind of the show it was. Maybe, we'll see how it goes in the next year, and then, it's always something you can probably revisit. That'd be a question for the commissioner, though.
Craig, you talked about how much skill you added today. Piggybacking on that, what's your philosophy going into Monday?
I think the one thing is, we have a few holes that we might need to fill just for, like I said, we're not going to be 5-7 year deals. We're going to be kind of on the lower end. Just, as we move forward, we want to give young guys chances. But we also want to put good people around them. So we're looking to be doing shorter deals in free agency and adding a few pieces, though, for sure.
Craig, talk about being on the clock and pick and Zane. The thoughts going into that.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we were, you didn't know how the draft was going to go. So once it kind of started playing out, it was looking like, for a minute, I thought we were going to take a forward, and then all of a sudden it transitioned into getting a defenseman. But it's getting a defenseman that is like a forward. With Zane, the way he can put up numbers, the skill he has, and he has a real opportunity to become something special.
Was there something that really caught the eye from the scouts yourself?
I think it was his ability, his vision, his playmaking, the way he sees the ice. He makes plays when you're thinking, oh, I didn't even see that. And when you're watching him from above, that's a good sign. He's just not making routine plays. He thinks differently, and he plays with, whatever he does out there, he makes people a little upset, which I kind of like too. I don't know what he's saying to him or doing, but he's definitely got a good personality, and he must rub guys the wrong way on the ice because they go after him.
We heard an interesting story from Jacob Battaglia today where he apparently met with a spiritual healer at Christmas, and they apparently told him that Calgary was in his future. I guess by the way you're looking at me, you didn't hear that story?
I did not. We only got to see him for a second. That's a great story, though. So, hey, it was meant to be. That, and it's with Parak, it's weird because we actually, a few days ago, invited his brother to development camp. So flights are all set, everything's ready to go, and then all of a sudden we draft Zane. So maybe there's a few omens out there that, it was meant to be.
Did Jordan get his goaltender? Did he?
He sure did.
Got his goalie?
Yeah, he was excited. I mean, Kirill was a guy he had on there, and he was texting. He would have liked to maybe do it a little bit earlier, but we thought we could wait just one more pick. So we ended up getting the guy he wanted, which is always nice because he knows goalies.
At the end of this season, there was the big exit day, and a handful of your players, notably the veterans, were saying, hey, we don't want to be in this spot anymore where we have to get a top 10 pick. They obviously want to make the playoffs, and at different points you've mentioned that you want to keep that competitive spirit, which at least try to make the playoffs. How much of that is going to play into your philosophy with getting free agents, even on short-term deals starting Monday?
Yeah, I mean, you want to add, again, you don't want to do deals that don't make sense moving forward, but you want to be smart and get players that you think fill a role and help the team be competitive. I mean, we always talk about being competitive every night, and that's what we're looking for. I mean, I know, like we said, the Backlunds, the Colemans, Kadris, I mean, these guys are Uyghurs. They're all competitive. Anderson, they want to win night in, night out. So you want to give them some help too. And you also want to give some young guys a chance because it did make a huge difference having Zari and Pospisil in the lineup, especially right away. And then as we went along, we were able to bring in more guys, the Coronados and different guys, Wolf, down the stretch.
And how important are those veterans to your focal vision going forward?
Well, they're huge. I mean, if you just watch what Kadri did for Zari and Pospisil, you can't put it into words. I think with Jerome and I were talking about Dave Gagne played with him his first year. You have to have good veterans. Even though you have good young players, you got to have good veteran players that kind of show them how to play and what the NHL is all about, night in and out. It's the best league in the world, and if you don't have that mentorship, it makes it tough on the young guys.
But what if they want to be in a situation where they want to win, as opposed to where you guys are at least trying to get to the playoffs, but it's not exactly the same spot as an Edmonton or the contending team?
Yeah, but I think, that's the thing. They're on the ice. They can, they're the ones that are going to determine if we win or lose. It's not me watching from above. It's them. I mean, they're going to go out. Our goaltenders are going to make saves. Guys are going to need to score goals, and we're going to need to stick together. But we want to be competitive every night. That's really the key.